Fire podcast with your hosts.
Chris. Oh,
No one's gonna take it. Okay.
Chris.
Julian. Oh, and the
Guess who's
returning
back?
host.
Back again. Me. Miles back. Go tell a friend that. Listen, I'm back. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
he
been
was
gone.
cooked off. He
I've
was
been gone for a
definitely
minute.
he was definitely fired, but he did come on his
I,
knees. He cried and begged. He said he really wanted his spot back on the podcast, and we were like, you know what? Pity hire, and now he's back.
Diddy hire got it.
Wait,
That got it. Nah, so really they realized that the podcast wouldn't survive without me. So they needed me back. So they came crawling back to me. All that he just said, they was on their knees begging me to come back to the podcast. So now I'm back, giving y'all the content that y'all so love and deserve. Cause of course, that's what I. No, I'm joking. Anyway,
yeah, sure.
I never got fired, never left. We'll get into the reason why I was gone for so long, but you know, first let's introduce our special guest. Cause y'all know me. I'm old. I've been here already. Let's introduce our special guest, Kendi.
Who's
Woo,
next?
woo,
Welcome.
woo. Where's
Yeah.
the crowd?
Yeah, look at the energy.
Yeah. Hey guys, my name is Kendi. I am a junior journalism major at Howard University. That's all I have to say
Valid.
right now. Yeah.
Nah, journalism at Howard University. That's great. I one question I got already off the rip is like, how do you think journalism is going with like, especially AI and technology and sort of like, people still order newspapers, of course, but just journalism in general, like, reporting, things like that.
Honestly, I think the field of journalism is a really scary world right now because it seems like yeah, you can get a machine to do the job, but if you're looking for authentic storytelling, nothing can replace a human. Actually going out there, getting the stories, covering things, getting that one-on-one interaction with people. So it is scary, but I don't think humans can be replaced.
I felt that.
Nah, actually, I
I
would agree.
completely agree.
Yeah, because actually, I don't think about like what you just said. Like, honestly, AIs only can write based on what already exists anyway, like what's already been written. So, like, journalists have to like go out there and actually get the story in the first place. AI can never do that. So, by necessity of the fact that new news needs to be written first before AIs could even attempt to write anything about a topic, I feel like it's fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm.
I-
True. And you got like the human, like you said, creativity behind it too, like in terms of telling the story, finding out like how to actually report it and things like that. Like definitely AI can't do that, nor any like yeah, it can't do that. So, but thank you for coming on the podcast. We
Yes.
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
your
you for
time and
having
everything.
me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Of
mm-hmm.
course,
I
of
do
course.
have one question.
So, oh,
How did you come to meet Julian? Since you're
oh yeah,
his
How did I
guest.
that's
meet
a good one.
Julian?
Yeah, what's the
Okay, I
story?
met Julian at what was it? What should we call it? Some type
Um,
of hang.
it was a hangout. It was supposed to be a
Okay.
kickback, but honestly, it was more like a gathering, kind of.
Right.
But also, it wasn't even really a gathering because when we showed up, it was before the gathering actually happened.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Because I think it started at a certain time and we were on time. No, we were even late and it still hadn't started. So I think we just got
yeah,
to talking before and we found out we lived on the same street pretty much. And
yeah.
yeah, that was the rest is history. Look.
Pretty much. She put me on with the
Wait, this
train, and I realized that I've been taking the inferior commute. I was like, nah, me and her, we gotta be
wait
locked in.
the same street like at Howard?
No, well, we
No,
live
no,
off
no.
campus. We
Yeah.
live
Oh,
in
off campus. Okay.
Maryland. Basically,
Oh,
right, like in our area, there's like a bunch of apartments, which is kind of crazy. It's like small little tangent. I don't know why they just keep building apartments. There has to be like 10 and like
even up here.
what? Yeah, it's just
Mhm.
so many. Like even just right
Gentrification.
here within walking distance, there's like four.
Gentrification. It's gentrification. That's why.
Literally.
It probably is, but yeah, like I even know that like some buildings over here, they're they basically bought them out because they want to build another apartment right there. I'm like, we already have like 7 known ones, and these are just the ones that I know that are like particularly popular, like right in this area. Why do we need so many? I just so unnecessary.
Yeah, they're doing that by where I live
Money.
too. Like they
Yeah,
cleared
and
out
by
the
where I
middle
live too.
section.
Yeah,
Should be
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
just kicking out all the black people that are already living here and building new fancy apartments.
You
Hmm.
love
And we're
that.
part of the problem.
Yep, literally school,
Gotta live somewhere though.
Not
universities.
to change the subject, y'all, but I kind of want to know a little about Christian and Myles because I do know Julian, but I
Mm.
don't really know much about
Yeah.
y'all.
Actually,
Fair?
this is the first time I've ever had a guest like ask
Actually, yeah,
like who are you people?
We
Uh,
like the
I'm
energy.
that is
interested to
true.
know.
You wanna go first?
Thank
Or
you. Nah, Christian, you the youngest. You go first.
alright,
Yeah,
whatever.
making the child go first. Come on now, supposed to be big bro energy.
Exactly.
Alright. Anyways, so I'm a junior. I go to Montclair State University. I'm an illustration major, so that kind of involves like anything art related, like painting, drawing, any type of like visual storytelling, things like that. What else? I'm kind of trying to like aspire to be like a storyboard artist, which is essentially like a person who plans out the story of like a TV show, movie, any type of media that involves like a narrative. Um, Usually they will have these people called storyboard artists who create the actual like layout or plan for the story like visually. So that's kind of what I want to do in terms of like animation, things like that. I got recently into making comics, so I'm trying to do that too, as well as like children's books. So that's yeah, that's pretty much my bio.
I love a
Hell yeah.
creative. That's so cool. Okay.
And, so yeah, Miles, I go to Drexel. I'm a junior, so I'm mainly in Philly all the time. Majoring in graphic design. So I kind of aspire to be not like I'm not really like Christian. Christian's like more of an artist. I'm more on like the design aspect in terms of I'm trying to do user experience design for like
Mm.
tech companies or clothing companies, things like that, where I basically do web design, trying to figure out what's the best way for a website to look, to flow, to make sense. If you click login, what does a login screen look like? And then how does that system work? And sort of for all the other functions of a website, just designing those to make sure that they look good, make sense, and feel like as a unit. They feel correct as a unit. Yeah, cohesive. Thank you. And I guess in terms of hobby, I do a whole lot of everything. I would say the biggest one, I'm a music enthusiast. So I would just like to listen to music, analyze music, play the guitar, piano, trumpet, all that. Yeah, that's kind of like a side hang. So yeah. What's another interesting thing? Oh, I'm Caribbean, so you will hear me just randomly spit out random just blurbs of nonsense. Like I'll be like, "Gyal, hing
Wagwan.
in it." Yeah. Wagwan, that'll be
That's a
one of them.
classic.
I'll be coming and say,
Yeah.
Wagwan, fam. So yeah, that's that.
Wait, what part of the Caribbean?
My dad's from Barbados, so and then my mom's side. Well, my mom's from Brooklyn, but then her mom's from Barbados and her dad's from Guyana. So I was raised very Bajan, very Barbadian.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay, I also love music, so if that is ever a
hey,
topic, please call me back. I can talk about it for days.
Right.
hey. Honestly, that could be today.
It could be.
Yeah.
Actually, I was thinking. I guess we should talk about how we met because I don't think we've ever actually done that on an episode.
Well, not with the guests. We've done it like very early, like season 1
You
days.
mean like how
So
us three met? Or
yeah,
Yeah.
or how the
Actually, no,
so
I
let's
don't
say
think we
how
did.
us three
You
met
guys
or
probably
how
did
the
it, but I don't think
podcast was
we
made.
three did it.
uh,
Did
Yeah,
we?
nah,
I think maybe we like
no.
briefly went over it, but maybe not like a total like story wise of like how we came
True.
to be where we are now.
It's
It's
giving
two,
you need a
but it's two.
redo.
Yeah, and that's two different stories because it's how we met and then how the
Mm.
podcast was made. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and even that technically is even the how we met story is longer because me
hmm
and Christian met before we met Miles.
Yeah, me
Yeah,
and
but then I met Christian before I met Julian.
yeah,
Yeah.
me and Julian met in elementary school, and then I think we got more
What
sort of
school?
closer in
Way
like
back.
middle school. But I knew you like I knew you pretty well in elementary school. We all
Yeah,
went to
I
the
feel like we were like tier two friends,
yeah.
and then elementary. Like we were close, but you were not part of like my main friend group at the time. No
Nah,
offense, of course, you know.
nah, that's how we were more so like maybe like close acquaintances. We also lived next to each other, so that's also how I
Yeah,
knew him.
we did not know. Well, I didn't know he lived next to me for like until middle
Oh
school.
yeah, it took a
Not even
while.
actually. It might have been high school.
Nah, no. It was
No,
not.
it was middle school.
Yeah, it was middle
It was middle
school.
school.
It
Okay,
was
yeah,
middle school.
yeah. Like we've
Chris
always
like,
lived. We've
bruh.
always lived down the street from each other. Like I
High
can
school would be
see his
crazy.
house from my house,
Yeah,
and not a clue. Not a clue in the world.
yeah.
That's such a long time to know somebody and still be cool.
Yeah,
Elementary.
Yes, we go way
and
back.
then for me and Christian, I met him like yeah, middle school, 6th grade. He ain't say a word, and I said a lot of words. So my goal was to make him speak. That was my challenge, and he gave me the look of "you're gonna fail," and then that's how we became friends.
Yeah, pretty
Oh,
um,
much.
This
yeah.
version of Christian's a huge evolution. You know, this
Oh
is
yeah,
this is a
no,
new
valid.
guy.
That's true.
Yeah, sixth
Yeah,
grade
a
was
Julian
very
like
got like
introverted.
yeah,
yeah. He
Okay.
was very introverted. Yeah, very quiet. But then yeah,
And
it
now here
just
we are.
wasn't. Yeah, and then and then we were all in the same like I don't know what you call it, like middle school program type of
STEM
thing.
program.
Um, yeah,
You
and
were the
like I said,
elite.
I knew Christian. We were the
Yes,
elite. I knew Christian, and then everyone in middle school called Julian Anthony
Anthony
Davis.
Davis. Yes. No.
Yeah, but they would reference you as Anthony Davis, and I know who they were talking about, so they were like, "Oh yeah, Anthony Davis," and I was like,
Yeah, I
"Who is
just
Anthony Davis?" And then I met Julian, and then Christian's like, "Oh yeah, that's my friend from like elementary school," and then that's how we all
yeah.
met.
yeah.
Hey, I
There
kind of
you go.
see it.
That's kind of
Anthony,
crazy. I don't even have
not
short
to
hair anymore. I have hair now. Like I feel like I'm being these
Crazy,
allegations.
not to uproot
crazy,
the talk,
crazy.
but
It
like
wasn't. It's
I'm
not too bad now, but like back in middle school,
It was bad.
Yeah, I was trying to fight the allegations so hard until eventually I just had to accept, like, you know what? Fine. I guess I'm Anthony Davis.
yeah,
The real
that's
bad one,
actually
the real violation one was ISJJ Fish. That one I was like, whoa, that was disrespectful.
nah,
Those middle
that's
schoolers,
crazy.
they were trying to disrespect. I was not ready for that one. That one I was not feeling. Mm-mm.
I remember that Ice JJ Fish was crazy. That was a crazy time.
bro.
That was violative.
That's horrendous. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You
And
find out that
then
it was one of them who started the.
What
I'm
about?
just kidding. I'm
it
Nah,
kidding.
was
imagine.
listen.
Confess, y'all. Confess.
It'd be
Uh,
Christian. Out of everybody, it would be Christian. He'd be coming out with the craziest roast.
Nah, see, here's how I would do it, right? I would be like, "Hey, yo, doesn't he look like SJ Fish?" But I didn't say that though. And then they will kind of get in their heads like, "Oh, it was my idea," and then that's how I spread them. Like, yeah, on some type of like mastermind type shit.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Christian's evil.
I'm
Do
not.
not
I'm
let him
not
fool
evil. I'm
you.
not evil.
He's chill, but he
He
is
is.
always scheming.
He's evil. He's evil. Let it be
Anyways,
known here and now. Christian is evil.
Very
we were in
evil.
It's
this
always unsuspecting ones.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
we were also in the same band class, and then going to high school, we all started marching band together. So that was like,
Yeah. At the end of middle school. Well, actually, no.
yeah,
Miles started 7th grade. Am I wrong?
No, no, yeah, I started 8th grade. I started eighth
Eighth
grade,
grade.
and then I was like, y'all two should join because I'm having
Oh
a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
fun.
Because you weren't that far ahead of us. You started
Yeah.
early in 8th grade, and then we didn't join
Mm-hmm.
till at the end of 8th grade.
Of 8th grade,
the
yeah.
summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
And
then,
then y'all went.
uh, actually, did we all go to different school? We did.
Yep.
We all went to
Yeah,
different
you
schools.
went to Pause. He went to PHS. I went to Magnet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All I went planes with the white folk.
Yep. Getting your diversities, because your diversity, whatever.
Yeah.
It
Marching band
was
was
not diverse, I could tell you that.
Well, diverse for our neighborhood, because I mean, where we live,
honestly, yeah.
it was pretty much like half and half black, half Hispanic.
Yeah,
There were no.
Hispanic.
To this day, I have no white friends. I do not have a close
I can't
acquaintance
say the same, but
and
it's different now
like
because like the school
yeah,
I go
'cause I
to
mean,
now is
because
like
where you go,
mad diverse. I just I know people of different like ethnicities, but in terms of like close friends, mostly just black and Hispanic. That's how it
Yeah,
is.
same.
But Marching
Yeah.
Man was like
Yeah.
the one like connect what's it called, connective tissue between all three of us since we went to all different
hmm
schools. And then around COVID, I remember because Miles, I think I think you were doing some type of thing on your IG where you're like reviewing stuff, and I was like, "Yo, this would be a really cool
Oh,
podcast."
yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah,
Yeah, it was on my Snapchat during COVID because we were bored. So I just do like it'd be like 9 p.m. at night, and I have like crazy like ADHD thoughts or something, and I'll just start ranting. I just rant on my Snapchat story, and then Christian would be like, "Yo, you should do a podcast," and I was like, "I'm not doing it by myself." So, yeah, I was like, "Join me." Then he was like, "Yeah, sure, let's do it." Did research, got all the equipment, everything except for a camera, which we still don't have. Uh,
yeah, to this
and
day,
then
we
yeah,
just use our iPhones, which
yeah,
has
use
led
our
to a
iPhone.
number of very funny problems. But
yep,
that's a
true,
thing for another day.
Yeah, and then I think the first season it was just me and Christian. Like
hmm
Julian came on one episode as a guest, and
That
that was
did,
also like a great episode. There's good chemistry, of course, because we all knew each other.
yeah.
Um, and then we were thinking about like doing the second season, and Julian was like, "Oh, I can edit," and we were like, "Oh,
Yeah,
great," because we need an
I had a
editor.
little small side arc at school. Basically, freshman year, for those of you who don't go to Howard, which is probably most of you, we have this thing called freshman seminar we gotta take as freshmen. Basically, it's um, I'm okay. I'm gonna speak honestly. It's a nonsense class. It's a class where you just uh, get random assignments.
nah, I had that too.
I never really paid attention.
I had that too.
But for one thing was that like at the end of the year we had to do like a project where like you gotta like make a video where you guys are talking about stuff like a pseudo podcast basically. Everybody got to do like a little participation thing. So people were like, "Oh, I can edit, I can write, etc." I was like, "Damn, I don't really got a skill," and I was like, "You know, I can learn how to edit." And so from there, I was like, "Oh, you know, that's a pretty valuable thing. I can learn how to edit. It's a good thing to like know." So then I started learning how to edit. I started doing YouTube videos. I mean, I'd done YouTube back in middle school as well, but I really started taking like serious freshman year. And then as I started getting better, because they were doing the podcast, I still knew they were doing the podcast. And then I was talking to Christian. He said, "Oh, kind of need an editor or so on." I was like, "Oh, I can be an editor." And then from there, it just kind of became, well, if you're gonna edit the videos and then also be involved with the process anyway, might as well just be on the podcast. And here we are.
And he also has the craziest like crackhead stories that we don't expect. Like he'll just say crazy things,
I
and
just
it'll turn into
it's fun.
content.
It's
Trust me,
so
I
fun.
know. Julian, the
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
stories you tell.
Oh no, that felt a little that felt like I had a little tinge to it. I don't know what you
No,
meant by
no,
that.
no,
Yeah,
no. No, I love a storyteller, so.
but
Also,
yeah.
Miles, you said you ranted on Snapchat a lot, and that kind of inspired the
Yeah,
podcast
it was.
situation.
Yeah, it was kind of more of like a. It was more Christian's idea. Really, I was just there speaking to speak.
I was gonna say I'm kind of in that phase. Like I'm a big ranter, and one thing about Snapchat, it can save all your memories. You can just talk, talk,
Hmm.
talk, and then save it, and then look back. So maybe I should take inspiration from y'all. Start
Hey,
a little
listen, you.
podcast.
Yeah.
Start, I'm
And
about to say start a podcast. Listen,
why not?
I mean, that'll be a lot. There's already a lot of competition, so you could
Yeah,
also
the
join this
podcasting
one.
is a little bit it's oversaturated. Some people need to have their mics taken away
Yeah.
because they
Way
just be
too
saying
many.
anything.
That was such
Like
a weird
I
way
know
too
I say
many.
anything and I gotta say some people really just be saying anything.
Especially like the last
Literally.
2 years, the amount of podcasts I've seen just like blew up crazy. I was like, damn, you have a
No, honestly.
podcast? Crazy. But
Yeah.
that's how we came to be,
And it sucks
essentially.
because now it's like whenever you tell people, "Oh yeah, I got a podcast with my friends," they're like,
Like, that could literally
"What?"
mean
And it's like,
anything to them.
no, no,
Not that kind of
we made
podcast.
it. Exactly. Not only that, we made it before the trend. We made it before everyone
Actually, no,
started
we
to
made
just
it
speak.
at the very beginning of the trend. It was like at the
Oh, true,
very, very
true.
beginning. Like it was like, okay, people Like, I think that's when the Joe Rogan podcast like started like really getting popular, and that's when other people were like, "Oh, Joe Rogan, I gotta do a podcast," and then everybody started doing it a little bit more. But actually, that was during the beginning of the TikTok phase, because that's where people were doing like the TikTok to YouTube pipeline. They start doing the content, and it'd be like, "Hey guys, go watch my videos on YouTube," and it'd be like that, and then it kind of turned into TikTok to podcast, and then podcast back into TikTok.
Yeah. And then it was a pandemic, so everyone was free or home, so like
Mhm.
people had time to talk. And then yeah,
Yeah.
it
Everybody
was
was
a
just
weird
hyped up.
phenomenon. And I think around now, like podcasts are still pretty big. I can't even say they're not dying or anything. They're still pretty big.
Yeah, they're just not as like you have to actually like be good at podcasting to have a good podcast now. Like, you can't just be like, oh yeah, I just get on the mic and you know, recording starts, finishes in an hour. I don't know what I said in the last hour, but upload.
Yeah. I feel like
Wait, so what is you guys' vision? What's y'all's vision for the podcast, like for the next couple years? Are you trying to keep this going,
ooh,
make it bigger, or
Yeah.
what?
I'd say yeah.
I'll say, yeah,
The only
probably
thing
make it
that's
bigger.
yeah, I would say the only thing that's really holding us back right now is just well, one, we're currently all in 3 different states, so that doesn't not very conducive to good times. We prefer to do it in person. We had a small stint of doing in person podcasts, and that was peak.
peak.
That was great times, but obviously we had to go back to school, so it's become like the fact that we're even doing it on Discord is because of the fact that like okay, we can't disappear for like 4 months. That's just not a great idea.
Dude, 4 years.
Yeah, it's bad. So
About it.
we started doing this, and then
Yeah.
we still got to work on making our TikTok slash cut ups of the podcast. That is a bit of an issue because I had the time to do the shorts and stuff. And also I'm just, I'm a little bit more experienced with like editing and all that kind of stuff. But my computer also can't do that. I don't know why. Initially, we thought it was because of that recurring iPhone recording issue. iPhones love to record things in really high depth and make the files huge, like 25 gigabytes
Yep.
for an hour. So that would make my computer literally die. Like, I would try to do it and it would straight up shut off. So I tried to fix it a little bit. I got a little bit of progress and then went back to that, and I was just kind of like, you know what, it's just not happening. Then I tried to do the shorts on my phone, and it did bring in a little bit of suicidal tendencies. I definitely was on the brink for a little bit, and I decided that that was also not something I could do anymore. And so right now it's kind of like the most we can do is, well, at least on my part, the most I could do is like kind of just take a chunk of the episode and just re-upload that, which isn't a bad idea. But TikToks, you gotta get the editing, get the fancy editing for all the ADHD people and whatnots.
Gotta have Subway
The
Surfers
what's the
at the
next
bottom.
generation? Gener what's
Gen
the people who are younger than us?
Gen Alpha.
The Gen what?
Alpha?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta work for the Gen Alphas. Their brains work at a million miles per second. You gotta have things fast paced, and it's hard to do that when you can't like edit properly. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had I've had a lot of technical difficulties. A traumatizing amount of technical difficulties. Right now, it seems to be going. Actually, let me not say that. It's going how it's
Don't
going,
say
and we'll
anything.
see what happens. But
Yeah.
honestly, well, I can still edit. The issue that I have is when it comes to like consistency in general. When it comes to like managing schoolwork and every other aspect of my life together. Because things get harder when it comes to like schoolwork sometimes, and it takes a lot more time than I think I have. Um, but I'm still managing that, trying to figure that out. In terms of the vision, I would like for us to be like in person. Like it would be dope to have like an in person studio. Whether
Mhm.
whether or not that will happen, we'll see. I think the Discord stuff does work. Because that's the only like possible way to record a podcast when we're in 3 different states. Um, but we're just gonna keep trying. It's a lot of trial and error and kind of like highs and lows, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And I think to kind of build off of that, just like higher, just overall bigger, better production. Not like the craziest or the best. Like, nah, this all started from just fun, three friends talking about everything. We literally recorded in like my hometown basement. We had our friends on as guests, our moms on as guests,
Oh,
coaches,
word! I
teachers.
forgot
Like,
about that.
yeah, like we've had great conversations. So I know the first part of our vision is definitely getting back in person. Like once we all graduate and gotta get to where we need to get to, just doing it in person. And then getting a camera, having like mic stands, like an actual like setup, uh, branding, all that, just to make it look professional. But then, yeah, just I think it'd be more of like a us thing. Like how some people have like I don't know a contrast, like a book club. Like we just have the podcast, and you know
Yeah.
you would just be able to have great conversations with people in our lives, of other people, famous people, whoever. Yeah.
Mhm.
I love that. I'm so excited to see where y'all go with it. And I think it's a testament to y'all's character, how you stayed kind of consistent through all of the trials and tribulations college be putting you through. Because I know
Yeah.
I'll be giving up.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
It
same
gets
for you.
rough. It
It's
gets
You're
rough.
rough.
There's
you're really good
definitely
at your
been.
major.
Honestly, yeah.
Sorry, I was just
Oh,
saying
oh.
you're really
You
good at your
interviewing
major. Like
us.
you're asking us questions. It's our
No,
podcast.
I
We
was
need
really
to
just
ask
thinking.
you
I was
questions.
about to make a comment. I was about to like, dang, Kendi, you're interviewing us. I mean, journalists at heart must be because you're over here asking us
Right, I
questions.
can't help it. I
It's
really
your,
can't,
it's
I
your,
can't help
you're
it.
the guest, so we're doing all the talking.
Listen, we have an open spot on the podcast if you want.
Hey,
You
if I
know,
can get my schedule together, then I'm there.
we
Fourth?
take that, get the
Hell,
woman's perspective on things, because we be missing that sometimes. We try and assume.
okay, I could definitely help with that. I
Yeah.
would like to get into
Uh,
marketing too. I think that's a big thing for
eh,
things like that. So,
Honestly, the
definitely. And even in terms of that, like I gotta get back on it because
yeah,
technically I'm in charge of like the marketing and all that, but I've been
it's.
busy, so
I was gonna say that's like one of
we
the
gotta
most
get
like
back on it.
Understandably
underrated
so.
challenges of it.
Actually, speaking of being busy, do you want to tell everybody
Oh
where you're
yeah,
at?
Yeah. Get into
so
it.
spill the tea.
Um, the real reason why I was busy, it's not gonna be too long. It's probably gonna be a whole other podcast episode in and of itself. But I don't know if you can see via the camera. I am now a part of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I was busy doing what I needed to do for that. Uh, yo to the good noobs out there. And yeah, that no, I'm part of the Delta Eta chapter, Philly citywide chapter. As I said before, I go to Drexel University, so I just say, we the demons of the East, to say the least, the best chapter out there. Y'all can fight me on that because it's true. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I was just busy doing that. I was also on co-op during that time, so I was working at Oracle um while doing that. So my schedule was just packed. Like I tried to balance it. It just literally just did not have time between doing that, taking one class, going to work from 8 to 6. Yeah, just ain't have time. So, but I'm back, and yeah, like I said, we'll speak more on it about all this stuff, the shoulders, the crimson and cream, all that, the canes. You feel me?
Mm.
All the canes.
Oh,
Uh,
word.
yeah, but that'll just be a different podcast. We'll save that for a special fraternity sorority, D9 NPHC podcast. So yeah, actually, y'all from Howard can attest to like what
Oh,
that Greek
yeah.
life is like, just in and of itself.
I know a couple of things. You're actually not. You're one of, I would say, two people who at least started the process slash crossed as of recent. So yeah, I know a couple of things about a couple of things.
Yeah, this stuff is a huge, huge, huge deal. As someone who
Mhm.
really didn't know much about it before I got to college, I was in for a shock. But it's all respect to y'all, and like,
Thank
'cause
you.
you have to dedicate so much of your time and your life to it. It's just a lot. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's definitely a commitment. I've
Facts.
learned
Yeah.
yeah,
that
it was.
I learned that one way or another. Hmm.
What's it called? Kendi, have you ever thought about joining a sorority or like that Greek life on campus?
I think before I got here, I had a very naive perspective on it. And
Mm.
so, the more that I learn about it, the more my reasons for being interested kind of change. And so I would be interested, but I would have to be in a stable place before I ever even try. If that makes sense.
What's your
That
opinion?
makes sense.
Because it is a big commitment. Um,
Yeah,
Yeah, I would
especially
definitely say the same. Like that's definitely something where like you have to be all in. Like you can't just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of do it on the side. Like, nope, that's you for the
Yeah.
for at least that year until you cross for sure.
yeah,
yeah.
and like especially at an HBCU, one like Howard, where a lot of them had started.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so yeah,
very
definitely.
serious on campus. Very serious.
I've had, well,
So
I'm not in like a fraternity or anything, but on like my campus, there are like Greek life events. Um, I'm not really sure if it's like a huge presence because I haven't been to like your campuses. So I don't know like the Greek life presence. Um, but I've seen like a couple of events and they table at different types of like campus wide things for
yeah,
different clubs and like organizations on there. Um, and I knew a couple people who were in that. Um, and it seems pretty cool. I guess it just really depends on like the
yeah,
type of um org you're like pledging to or trying to cross to.
Yeah.
yeah. And one thing I'll say is you everyone has their reasons why and why not. That's literally it. Like, yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, speaking about tabling, literally, I had to table the past week, 2 weeks at the University of Pennsylvania and my school, Drexel. So, yeah, and that's another thing too. Like when I came to Drexel, the yard, or at least for like D9, was not that present. It was kind of fading. But then yeah, it came back, and now, especially the past 2 years at Drexel, there's a lot more black students than when my class came. So yeah, there could be a reason for that. If there is, I don't know why, but I like it. So
As long as you're into it,
We
that's
love
all that
it actually.
matters. So I was looking
yeah,
on
yeah,
the guest topics of like the old doc we have, and there was one question I wanted to ask in general, kind of as like I guess like a third year check mark since we're all juniors of like how do you feel college has been for you? Because there's like obviously the stigma or like stereotype that like college is a scam or it's not worth it. So based on like
Mm.
your 3 years so far, or I guess like almost three since we're nearing the end point, but like
Yeah.
would you say your almost 3 years have been like beneficial to you? Like would you do it again if you had the choice to like choose to do college or not?
That's a great question. Who wants to start?
Well, I mean,
because
Uh
the other
because
guests.
yeah, you
Why are
started.
you
they've
asking
heard enough
us?
from us already.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
heard
okay,
enough from
okay.
us already.
Mhm.
You said,
I feel like I have kind of a completely different experience and perspective because I'm a transfer student. So my
Oh,
first 2 years of college, I did community college, and so there really wasn't a college experience to even speak about. Um, I was just getting my degree and preparing to transfer to whatever university I decided. But based off of like my first year at Howard, it hasn't been a year, it's been 2 semesters. My first two
Yeah.
semesters at Howard, I would say college is all about what you make it, and that's going to determine if it's worth it or not, if that makes sense. Um, if you are here and you come into it with like, this is useless, I'm getting nothing out of this, why am I here? Then it's gonna be just that. But if you come and you make the most of your time, you meet as many people as you can, you network with who you can, then you're gonna leave here with something, I think. And it all kind of depends. A big part of it is also what school you go to, what's your environment like. I think those are things that make college worth it because some of the experiences that you get here, you just won't be able to get anywhere else.
Feel that.
Very well said.
Very well put.
Well said.
I would pretty much entirely agree.
As
Yeah.
a,
No, honestly.
I was say, as like a transfer student, what like influenced your decision to come to like Howard? What made that like the destination for you to go to?
Ooh, okay. So, high school. Okay, let me start with middle school. Middle school, I went to a very, very diverse middle school, and there were all types of cultures, all different types of people to meet. It was just an amazing environment and experience for me, and I loved it. Then we moved to the country because I'm from Texas, so we moved to like
Oh,
a Texas part, I mean a country part of Texas when I was like 14. So I went to high school in this very, very, I'm not even trying to offend, no, very Caucasian
mm,
place, and it was just kind of traumatizing for me. And so I was like, I need the opposite of that when I go to college. And so who am I comfortable around? I'm comfortable around on my people. So I was like, I had to go to an HBCU, and I strive for the top. So it was either going to be Howard or Spelman for me. So
Yeah.
that's how I ended up here.
More than fair.
And what was that? What was that like? Sort of going from Texas to DC, because that's not easy. Just
that's a
Oh
big
moving
my God.
jump.
halfway across the country.
Yeah, it was a huge, huge change. And honestly, I don't think I was fully prepared for it. I thought it would be way easier than it actually was. Um, Different culture, different energy, public transportation. Like I had never in Texas we drive almost everywhere. I had never taken public transportation like that. So I had to learn a whole different way of getting around. It was just socially you have to accommodate for all of that. It was a lot and yeah, I wasn't ready.
Cool.
What
That's
would you
fair. That's
say
fair.
like your first winter was like with
Oh,
snow
word.
and all that?
Did it even snow over here?
I don't know if it snowed in
This.
DC, but
I don't think it did, really.
We got a little bit of snow, a little.
Yeah, it was very minute. Definitely global warming. I'm not gonna hold you. That was pure global warming. It was no. Well, no, it was two levels of global warming slash climate change. The global warming was it basically never snowed, and like all throughout like the actual like main time of winter, it was cold, but it was never like winter cold really.
mm,
Yeah.
The climate change was that in February and March, it was brick outside. You would think it'd be like, oh, we're getting up there, start heading back up, and weather. No. But then also we'd have random days where it was just like hot for absolutely no reason. And then it'd be ice again the following week. Made no sense whatsoever. Actually, it just started being warm this week. It's
yeah,
April. Why am I saying it just got warm this week?
Honestly, same
Well,
because
in
it
that
gets
sense,
inconsistent. Hmm.
I was gonna say in that sense, I kind of felt at home because I'm starting to think weather is bipolar everywhere, but in Texas, we it's kind of the same way. It never really gets as
oh,
cold as it is here, but it'll be cold one day, hot the next. You wear a t-shirt thinking it's gonna be hot, and then it's cold. It's just you don't know how to dress, and so I kind of felt at home in that sense.
oh, valid. Okay, that's good. And then final question, at least for me, about you saying being from Texas. Would you consider Maryland, DC area the South, since you are from the South?
Oh, heck no, heck no! This is not the
Ah,
this is
y'all
not the
hear
South
that,
at all.
everyone? See, y'all
I
hear
mean, to be
that,
fair,
everyone
it
from
really is the
Maryland? Y'all not the
North
South.
over here.
At all. Get that out of your heads now. I don't know who told y'all, but no, no, no. Mm-mm.
Nah, it'd be like a debate because one of my friends he's from New Orleans, and then one of my other friends they're from Maryland. So I remember she was like, "Oh yeah, we're in the South." He was like, "Y'all not the South."
Yeah.
So they had that little disagreement, and then I heard it like multiple other times, just meeting people. So I'm
Yeah,
like,
this is
"Hey,
definitely more the North. This does not feel like the South at all.
ask them people from Maryland. They might beg to differ,
Is Maryland just
or the
like,
Maybe.
DMV
They,
area, just that DMV area."
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
um,
is that area like just like right in the middle of like the East Coast?
Yeah,
Kind of.
Uh,
like DC, Maryland, Virginia, but like the top of Virginia, like it cuts off
Oh
at some
yeah,
point.
I got you.
yeah.
Yeah. At least that's what
Nah,
I'm told. I'm not from there, so
I
you don't
can't
know. Say
say. Still New Jersey. Always been New Jersey. So it's just.
Jersey for life.
I mean, there is like not like a culture shift, but it definitely got different being like up north in like North Jersey, if you want to call like where we're from, like Central Jersey. But
don't you dare say
It's
it.
it's
There is
it's a
no
it's a
Central
myth.
I
Jersey.
listen, 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 listen,
I'm gonna
listen,
stand on
listen,
that. I'm gonna
listen.
stand on that.
I don't think
There's
it's
no
Central
There's a
Jersey.
north
Central
and south
Listen,
Jersey.
I don't think
central.
it's Central Jersey
There has to be
either.
a neutral playing
But
field.
I
We
get
live
tired
in
of
neutral.
arguing, so I'm like, all right, bro, you got it, whatever, sure. But
There's no Central
um,
Jersey. There's just
It
North and
has
then
to be
South.
Central Jersey. We
I
There's
literally
know.
none.
live in between North and South Plainfield.
Okay, listen,
We're not
listen,
in
listen,
Central
listen,
Jersey.
listen.
We're
It's
North
Central
Jersey.
Jersey,
I'm trying to say
bro.
is that like up
If
here,
this is Narnia, we live in Narnia. We live in Central Jersey.
I'm trying to say like up here, and like I'm kind of more so close to the city now. It's kind of like it's like New York, but more so kind of suburban still. You can kind of tell when you're getting closer to New York. One, because of the smell. It smells like straight shit everywhere. Apparently, because like in this area, or at least like
Hey, you just
towards
damn.
the, it's true. Towards the Patterson area, um, I think you get since you're getting closer to the water, the ground is kind of like more marshy.
Wait, hold on, you're cutting out.
Oh, it is. Damn. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But also,
Exactly.
actually, I should have. I was gonna ask him. New York City.
No, he meant like upstate Jersey, like
No,
North
because he
North
was saying no.
Jersey.
He's comparing it to New York. That's why. Like I
Oh,
didn't know if he
Oh,
meant like was he making a comparison to New York City? Because New York City
yeah,
and New York Upstate are like effectively two different states. Let's be so real.
yeah. He's comparing it to New York City, definitely, because
Okay.
that's closest to Montclair.
does it sound okay
Oh yeah,
now?
you're right. You're right. You're right. Yeah.
Okay, wait. Let me get my stuff. Okay, we'll just cut that part out. We'll just cut that part out, I guess.
Uh.
Um,
Yeah. I
Oh
don't
no,
know.
no, it's back.
Okay. I'm
It's
gonna be
back.
honest.
it's
You're getting half
back.
and half. You're getting half and half.
Yeah, it's half and half.
All right, let me
Yeah.
one sec.
Nice. I don't know. So.
Anyway, I guess if we talk about culture shock, to just continue the topic, I guess, yeah, it was a culture shock going from Jersey to Philly. I'm not gonna lie, Philadelphia is a weird place. Sorry, I'm looking at us, like
Really?
yeah, I'm looking at my girlfriend who's from Philadelphia. It's a weird place.
Nah, that stare down is crazy
You
work.
can't just make that statement and not elaborate. What weird in what
Okay,
ways?
just like the people I've met they're just different. I don't know how to explain it. Like even the mindset of people from Philly is different. And that's not to say I don't like it. Like I like I have a lot of people that I mess with from Philly. It's also just like the horror stories I hear of just people from Philly. Like oh, a good example, a lived experience. Parents, you don't have to listen to this. But it's what was it? It was like a 12 p.m. on a Saturday, and I'm with my friends, right? And we're getting ready to go to Center City, and then where I live, like, is a bit off, like off of where campus is. Uh, and we were like at his house, which is around the corner, cause he's also at an apartment. So we were around the corner, just chilling in the car, about to leave. Next thing we know, there's just a shooting on the corner in 12 p.m. on a Saturday. It's broad daylight, sunny outside. Like when I'm talking about people are walking their dogs, like people just outside, and a whole shooting just happened. And I'm like, you're not even gonna wait until nighttime? Like you're not gonna wait until
That's
night
They
game,
said we
crazy.
do not we do not need the cover of nights.
bro? Like
Mm-mm.
dead in broad daylight. And then one of my friends that's from Philly, he was like, "Oh yeah, this happens." What do you mean, just happens?
That's a little too casual. That was a little too casual. He see his fair share of drive-bys. He was like, "Must be another Tuesday."
Yeah. I was like, that's not normal. Also, even the homeless people are a bit different. Like, I took SEPTA, which is the public transportation. I think I've said the story before, but I walked in, I looked, because I don't ever sit down, but I'm in the little like standing part, and I look between the window, and I see a human like feces, like an actual human took in the seat, and it was just there, and then the homeless guy was sitting right next to it, unbothered. Crazy, crazy. Like
That would blow
that
me.
that
I'm not
is
even
that
gonna.
is actually kind of horrific.
yeah,
Actually, I genuinely don't know what I would do in that situation.
yep.
But
That's kind of
the
what
thing
I
with me
mean.
would be
Philly's
like,
just a
damn,
weird
I
place.
do need to go to my location, but also this is a biohazard,
At
and
Hmm.
what
I'm
cost?
concerned
Damn, I do
that
that.
things might get worse. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's what I mean by like Philly is a weird place. Even like the lingo, like sometimes it just doesn't make sense. Like I get it, but then they would say a whole lot of nothing in 30 seconds. It would be like, oh yeah, so I went to Yamin's house and like he passed me that John and we just did like and then they would just cut out details and I'm like, I'm not following anymore. What are you talking about?
Like you've used not a single
Single noun, not a
yeah,
single noun, not a single adjective, nothing. Just straight vibes. And then
yes.
people from Philly understand exactly what he's talking about. And I'm like, yeah, nah, I got no idea. Is you
Uh,
okay?
they just I naturally know how to decipher. They're just like, yeah,
Yeah.
crack the
And
code.
then as soon as it get warms out, the dirt bikes everywhere. Like
Oh
just
yeah.
straight down Market Street. That's all you hear.
Yeah.
But
I
like I said,
even over here we get that a little bit over here. It's so loud for no reason.
yeah, it's
And
mad
then
loud. But
over
I
here in
mess with it.
DC, there's over here in DC, there's like a ton of lights. Like there are stoplights literally everywhere. Like
Yes.
actually
Ugh.
everywhere. So what they'll do is that they'll be mad loud, drive fast a little bit, and stop immediately and be like, "So
Dang.
what were we actually doing? You did all that for what? You didn't go anywhere."
Well, at least they have the courtesy to stop. In Philly, they don't stop. They just
Oh,
go through the red light. Yeah, nah, they
they just go for
especially
it.
if it's like a ride out and there's like 300 of them, yeah, there's no stopping them. They just keep going. They yeah.
300 bikers is I don't know. That stressed me out a
Yeah.
little bit. I'd be
I'll
like, you
be in
know what?
class, you just hear the
I'm not Caucasian, but I am just gonna go walk my ass back inside. I think that's it for me.
Mhm. DC would not be able to
bruh.
handle 300. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
But also I've been to DC. Y'all streets is weird. Like it's mad
Literally
Exactly.
having
tightly
this
packed.
conversation last night. This exact conversation. We were talking about how honestly, there's just so many one ways. There's one way, a bunch of one ways.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of roundabouts. Like I said, the lights terrible, and
Hmm.
the drivers
Oh my God.
cannot drive for the life of
Mm.
them. Not at all. The
See,
amount of literally, we were driving one time. We were driving one time. Recently, I was with my friend Naomi.
Wait,
We're going
do I sound
home.
okay?
He
Yeah, we
fixed
can hear
it.
you.
Okay.
Oh my god,
It's gonna
the
be.
curse has
he's
been
back.
lifted. A
Hopefully it
beauty.
works because it's gonna be kind of weird. But
Yeah, but we were driving. We're coming up this street from our school. Is in one way. This guy turns into the one way, goes, doesn't even flinch. Like, I tell you, we looked at him because we thought he was insane for coming down the one way. And he doesn't even have the courtesy to like look at us like, oh my bad. He didn't even did he acted like he was driving the right way. Like he was on the right side of the road. He was just like, why y'all bugging out for? You could have hit us. What are you doing? What are we actually doing? Like just the people parking. Like yesterday night, we were I've been dabbling in nightlife as of recent. We're driving down and we're trying to park. The amount of people just double parked, just so interesting. Just everybody double
See,
parked.
here's the
Can't find
thing.
a parking spot for the life of you.
Philly is similar. Like there's a whole bunch of one ways, a whole bunch of like random streets. But the difference is the drivers can actually drive. They just don't care
Wow.
about human life. They don't care about human life. Like imagine you experience what you experience, but it's on purpose. That's
that's insane.
a different type of rude. Exactly. Like, bro, freshman year, I'm trying to walk back from class. It's like 10 p.m. Oh no, it's not 10 p.m. It's midnight because I was working. Yeah, I was working overnight. So it's like 1 a.m. So there's not really that many cars. But this guy is in like a police chase. He turns up the runway and speeds up the one way is also down a hill. So he's just speeding up a hill. Mind you, I'm walking from class with my headphones on. I cross the street. I feel a car boom behind my back. I say, "Oh." Like, because I'm looking the way cars come down. I'm not expecting a car to come up. So I'm just like, oh, I could have died. Oh, that's crazy. And I went to bed. But yeah, like drivers here, they don't care about human life. They just need to get from point A to point B.
Nah, just saying they don't care about human life. It's just I don't know something about it. It's just so funny to me. But nah, that's an interesting problem to have. Like your drivers can drive, they just don't care,
It's true.
and
Yeah.
our drivers do care. They're actually decently nice. Like there's definitely been a couple of times where I need to cross the street and they'll stop and be like,
I
but
wish.
nah, they just they'll just do really dumb things. Like my friend Naomi, only person with a car right now, got in a car accident at a stoplight because
Oh, no, that's fine.
in traffic. That was an important detail. In
Oh,
traffic, we're in the middle of like middays. Everybody's come home. Traffic. We're at a stoplight. Well, not we, but she's at a stoplight, and they effectively run into the back of her car and like completely put it out of commission. Like the whole car had to be replaced. But it was just so interesting because she was explaining to us. It was like, yeah, like the only way he could have crashed into my car was literally he just was not paying attention in any capacity because the light was red. She's already been stopped. And again, it's traffic. It's bumper to bumper traffic. I know how the traffic gets. It's bad. All right. It'll turn a 30-minute drive into an
yeah.
hour. Easy. So I know you just were staring at your phone. I know you were staring at your phone. You're having playing that little eight ball game. You're trying to do a little competition with somebody. And you're like, nah, we lock in, doing the angle up, and he just crashed. It had to be something like that because it made no sense. None.
Oh my goodness. Pain. Nothing but
It's
pain.
kind of that's kind of
But
like
yeah,
up here, but everyone's either chiller or just angry. No in between. Um,
that sounds like Jersey.
Most people drive pretty okay, but every once in a while there'll be like a person just like a Philly driver, like I explained. Like there's been times even like where I live on campus where I'm trying to cross the street and I'm waiting there for like a good like, minute or two if there's like a little bit of traffic. Like this one guy would just like speed up here and the speed limit's like 25, but he goes like a nice 40. Goes straight
Oh,
past me, across the crosswalk. Happens quite often. I've driven a little bit more being up here. I don't have my own car, but just coming back to campus, like it isn't too bad. Occasionally, there's like an accident here or there. The streets do get kind of confusing because, like, especially where I am,
No,
there's like a lot of different exits and like roundabouts, things like that.
bro, just to get
Yeah,
into
getting to
Montclair is
your
probably the
yeah.
dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
It's
it's
really
very
weird
strange.
because there was
Cause then if
construction
you
here
miss it, you
too.
gotta go like another 5 minutes down the road just to turn around and come back. Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, and then even to like just go to like get food and stuff, like you got to like
Yeah,
entirely leave the area. Like, and
Yeah, if you don't have a car, you're screwed.
yeah,
I mean, I've used
New
the
Jersey
bus,
is
but
not meant to be traveled without a car.
Texas
it's
either.
Whoa. Okay, I thought it was me because I didn't hear Kendi or you. But okay, based on Miles' laugh, it is you. Okay.
wait, you can't hear me?
I mean, okay, better. Talk again.
How do I sound? I sound
Good.
you good.
Actually, you sound good now.
You
I
sound
don't know.
good.
Maybe it was just like a collective internet crash because I could not hear anybody for a second. I was like, oh, what happened to my Wi-Fi? But
let me
I
sit a little closer.
But
yeah.
anyway, so now that we've gone through the college stories and all that, let's get to some true advice and some stories that Kendi might have to report someday with Am I the Asshole Reddit stories.
Yes, sir.
Yay.
Yeah. All right, who wants to go first?
I have none. I honestly, having been doing the podcast with Just Christian, I've come to find that apparently he's really good at picking stories. Every time I look, I always feel like I'm like, dang, I really can't find one. But somehow he always finds like 10. I'd be like, I couldn't even find one.
I got it.
Fair enough.
Your turn.
Well,
I guess I'll go
I'm about to say
first.
I'll just okay, fine. Yeah, about to say.
All right. If it doesn't sound good, just like we'll just say if it,
Mm.
let's hope it does. So this first one is, am I the asshole for kidnapping my stepson? I, 25-year-old male, married to my wife, 3-year-old female. Here, Colleen has 2 kids with her ex-husband. Her kids are Aiden, 12 years old, male. Oisin, who's also 11. I met Colleen when I was working at a local sports center, pretty fresh out of college. Oisin practiced for basketball there, and Colleen asked me out one day a few months into working there. Recently started a job as a sports scout. My BA is in sports management. Aiden isn't athletic at all, unlike Oisin. Her dad isn't into sports either, so Oisin has naturally gravitated towards me as a role model, and I spend the most time with him. Colleen and her ex technically have joint custody of the kids. Right now, Oisin mostly spends time with us, specifically me, Aiden with his dad. So Oisin and Aiden don't get whatsoever. Oisin is very sweet, but he can be a handful, especially when his, again, very sweet friend on the basketball team is around. This boy is amazing and a great friend. ADHD makes him very hyper. Aiden is a very quiet kid. He has friends, and most of them are him. They do Model UN together. I've tried connecting with Aiden because my brother, 16-year-old male, Model UN at high school, but they haven't really connected. Colleen and her ex are on good terms, and he seems fine with me. Last weekend, Colleen had a conference for work. Normally, as I said, Aiden would be with dad. Grandpa, Colleen's ex-dad, had a fall, expected to recover. I was left alone with Aiden. Oisin had his girlfriend, 11-year-old female. Oisin's girlfriend plays basketball as well, and they both been watching everything with Caitlin Clark and watched the W. They were in the living room watching something basketball related, when Aiden came in and asked why Oisin liked to watch lesbians on TV. Aiden went on some rant about how only lesbians play basketball and was calling Oisin some homophobic words. Told Aiden to stop, but he wouldn't. I then told Aiden if he stopped, I would take him to the comic book store he liked. I took him there, brought him some stuff. On the way home, I asked him about his behavior. He defended himself, saying he was just telling the truth, and said I should be a man and not get so he not said I should be a man and not get offended so easily. When Colleen got home, he said I kidnapped him because I tried to trap. Okay, wait, hold up.
What?
When Colleen got home,
What?
he said I kidnapped him and he said I kidnapped him because I tried to trap him to a bullshit conversation. Colleen told him to cut it off, but Aiden wouldn't stop calling. Aiden wouldn't stop calling me a kidnapper, saying I'm not his real dad, which I understand. And I'm wondering if I went too far. Am I the asshole?
What?
Oh man,
Wow.
There was a lot going on there.
yeah,
See, at first I was like, okay, what are we actually cooking?
yeah. It took a
Nah, but
while.
when
It
the
took
when
a
the story
while.
started going, I was like, oh, okay, I guess here we are. Okay.
Oh man, that turned like
These are my favorite Am I the Asshole stories. It's when they describe the most diabolical thing that's ever happened to them, and then say, "But did I do the wrong thing though?" It's like, huh? What are you even talking about?
um. I guess to recap, like the guy is with his wife who has 2 kids. One is athletic. One left alone together. He was left alone with them for a night watching basketball, and then one of them just
Bro went full red pill. He was.
Told the guy to be a man, not go to family. Then when the wife got home, he said the kid said the guy kidnapped him. I tried to trap him. And then the wife told him the kid wouldn't stop calling him a kidnapper, not his real.
Bro went full Andrew Tate right there. He
That
was like
went 0 to 100.
he was like his alpha male show for a second. He was so crazy. That was actually so out of pocket.
That went 0 to 100. Kendi, what you think? Is he the asshole?
I just feel like there was so many different perspectives. It was just so much going on. I don't even know. Maybe they're all the asshole. Like at this point, I'm confused. I'm lost.
I
I
didn't
don't even know.
to be really straightforward, and then it wasn't.
Yeah.
It
Halfway through,
was
I was like,
not.
damn, this is like a lot of backstory. What is the actual kidnapping? And it just came full.
Yeah, just
Bro, that went 0 to 100. It really was. He just started. He was like, "Yeah, all lesbians play basketball, bro." What?
What?
nah, the way I would
What?
just stop in my full
What?
tracks, like, wait, what'd you say? Or we're doing a TikTok, you say a crazy thing, that's the prank. Haha, very funny.
No, but then he just gets worse.
He
But I'm
just
not
keeps
gonna lie.
not,
You're not the
not only
yo.
does he get more serious, but he doubles down.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. As soon as the little kid said, "Be a man and don't get offended," I'm booting him
Nah,
in the
I
chest.
was so
So,
I'm genuinely surprised he did just go full send and just be like, stop being a bitch. Like, whoa, he just like what? I wouldn't
that's
even
what
know
I'm
how to
saying.
feel. Because mind you, he just took him out to buy stuff.
Yeah,
Right? So he's basically calling you a bitch and telling you to shut up in your car after you bought him things. And then you
yeah,
drop him off
no,
at home and he wants to be like, damn, you try to kidnap me.
Oh,
What? I would have so much whiplash.
I think his first mistake was taking him to the store to buy something after the only lesbians.
Yeah, that honestly that was a really debatable decision.
yeah. Horrible parenting. No, he's not the asshole. The kid is, and that kid deserves timeout
Yes. He needs
or
Kendi.
some
to
real, yeah, or some real black parenting.
yes, he
Oh,
needs some good
that's a good beating right
black
there.
parenting. African even, you know, you need a little
African, yes,
Not
from
um
African.
also definitely
Nah.
I just gotta say that you know he's a kid because he said I was kidnapping because you trapped me in a dumb conversation. Crazy. I okay. Who you even trapped? You said no. I mean, you know, I
That
Um,
was the first story.
all right, I'll do the second one because I only got one, so Christian could do the third. So this one is, am I the asshole for kicking out my wife's friend for saying that I am disgusting for feeding each other with our hands? So I think this is gonna be a very short story.
got it.
My wife Cindy and I are extremely close. We do almost everything together. Brush, have food, showering. I don't know why. This person might be a dog because they can't speak English. But anyway, if she asks me not to do any, yeah, if she asks me not to do anything, if I ask her not to do something I dislike, she's happy to comply. Her friend Lisa was over yesterday for dinner. Cindy and I often feed each other food. Lisa looked at us weirdly. She said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Having dinner." She said, "Yeah, but you feed each other like that? That's just weird." I did not like it, and of course, neither did Sydney. He said it's none of her business, but she was shouting weird, look at us as we fed each other food, including when we were holding each other's hands. When Sid leaned over to kiss my forehead, Lisa said, "Stop this shit. It's insulting and frankly disgusting." That led to a huge argument. In the end, Sydney asked me to get lost, and I was only happy to. I asked her to get out of the house. She left, but is still mad at us by saying that we insulted her. Am I the asshole?
I've never seen somebody be like, damn, I'm single and it is now your problem. Like just really personify it. Like they invite you over for dinner. You're basically like, how dare you act like a couple in front of me? Act single.
Oh no,
No.
no, wait, no, wait, no. They're feeding each other with their hands. Like they're not like
No,
doing.
because
But I mean, well,
When
what food are they eating? I did think that was weird. I was like the food hand thing, but I was like,
Did they just say what
because
they
they're
eat?
at home, right?
Mm-mm. Just
But
says it's having dinner.
but it's at home, right? At their
Yeah.
house. I mean, to me, I'm like, okay,
listen, I'm
it
about to
is
say
strange. Like I
okay.
did think it was a lot, but yeah, can you can go?
Y'all don't want to hear what I was about to say. Never mind. I'm not.
Nah, go
Say
for
it,
it.
say it.
I've said
I
worse. Don't
was
worry.
okay. Listen, I'm not even trying to sound like a hater of love. I love love, but sometimes you couples, y'all need to get it together and tone it down when you're in mixed company. Okay, you invited somebody over and you're sitting there doing the most like that. I don't know. That's kind of uncomfortable. So I'm kind of on my sister's side. I can't remember her name, but I'm on her side. I don't know.
No, same. I fully agree. Lisa's right. Like, yes, it's my house, but like, you're also a guest. You're not just gonna walk around naked when you got a guest in your home. You feel me? So like, you shouldn't do some type of like. There's some things that you just shouldn't do when you have guests over, and one of them is feeding each other with your hands. That's also disgusting.
Exact.
Mm, okay. I guess okay. I will okay, okay. Um I'm arguing the other side. I'm standing on business right now. 10 toes down. I'm on the other side. I will give you that as I was listening to the description, like the whole like, oh, we take showers together, brush teeth together, all that stuff. I was like, okay, that's a little much to be fair. Like I personally wouldn't do that. But again, everybody's relationship's different. Y'all close like that. Y'all like doing that stuff. I mean, hey, do what you do. Um, I will. I kind of reserve my opinion based on what food they're eating. Like if we're talking about like spaghetti and like we pick up the noodles with our hands and we're like that's crazy. But assuming that's something that it can reasonably be eaten with your hands, reasonably, I feel like yeah, it's a bit much, but it's also like it's not that serious unless they're being like gross with it and they're not just like because I've definitely done well, not the hand thing, but I've definitely done something where like, oh, you want to try some of my food, kind of with the fork, and then give you a little something,
I don't.
whatever.
I
Like
don't think
I
they're
don't think it's
doing that.
that deep.
Yeah.
Also, to be calling me disgusting in my own house is crazy. Like, if you want to be bad about it, that's fine, but like, bring it down a level. We made you food.
Christian, I want to hear what you have to say.
Um, one hand, like what's it called? PMA?
PDA.
PDA.
Yeah, okay. The PDA.
Brother said PMA.
It depends on
He's
like.
new to this stuff. Give him a break.
Shut up. I've seen it like if it's like one of our not like a dining hall, this place where we get food. There's like this one couple that said this one specific. They would just go crazy on each other. It's like literally just eating. Not joking.
Whoa.
And
That's crazy. See, I'm not condoning that in public. Again, if you're in the privacy of your own home, I feel like I cut you a little bit extra slack.
yeah, but like in this story, they weren't doing all that. But I guess there is a level to like you kind of you don't have to, but when you're in the presence of other people, you're inviting them in. You want to make them comfortable. You might have to tone down how you would tone, but not everyone do that. Some people just don't. So I feel like with this, like it really depends on what food they're eating. Because if they're eating like
Yeah.
if they're
Yeah.
eating like Julian said, if they're eating like spaghetti, if they're doing like what you just said, like kind of like giving each other food, like that's okay. Personally, it would be kind of weird, but I guess it depends on like the degree to how they're doing.
Yeah.
In general, like it would be kind of uncomfortable at eating at someone's house.
No. No, that's weird. No, no. I can't. I
I'm,
disagree with y'all. It
I'm
doesn't matter
defending my
what food.
principle. I
It
feel
does
like,
No,
no.
you
It
know,
doesn't matter.
literally.
It doesn't matter what food because one, they're also holding hands. So I don't know how you gonna feed each other and then hold hands with the food you just like
nah,
shoved into the other person's
got
face. That's
left
weird.
hand holds, right hand feed.
Not only that, there's no food that you can name that's comfortable feeding someone unless it's like a snack. But even that is kind of OD, right? Like if you're having dinner with someone and it's three people. Like imagine it's just you and then you see Christian and his girlfriend and they start getting steak and putting it in each other's mouth. Like not with the fork,
Now
not
that that would be a little much.
with their hands. Bro,
Yeah,
that's weird. That's weird. Even if it's a hot dog, something you're supposed to eat with your hands, you don't feed someone a hot dog, like or a burger. You
Exactly.
don't do that. That's weird. Especially if you have guests. If you do it just with y'all two, listen, that's up to y'all. Y'all just freaky. That's weird. But in
freaky.
front of a friend, in front of a friend,
Wait, was it just
that's
one other
also
person?
rude because the
Wait,
friend is single.
it was just one other person?
Yeah.
It was just one of that's
Yes.
what the see. I'm defending the principle just because like, hey, they are at home at the end of the day. Like,
Well, not gonna lie, I'm gonna have to excuse. I just have to leave. I don't know if I could like like.
Christian said, "You don't need to kick me out. Matter of fact, I'm
Let's just
leaving.
go.
Yeah.
y'all, y'all enjoy it.
That's like
Don't invite me
ultimate.
over and then act like
That's ultimate
No
third wheel.
facts. I'm
That's
with
the
Kendi. Yeah, it's not even a third wheel. I'm just uncomfortable. Why are you?
literally.
Yeah.
I know, I get that it's their home, but like if you invite people over, you have to be aware of certain things. It's a lack of social awareness with people who act like that. Like you're clearly making me uncomfortable and you actually don't care. So now I have to pop off.
Facts. It's also entitlement. Like, yeah, it's your home, and I can respect you in your home, but I'm also my own person, and you invited me. Like, I can't invite myself over to your home. You invited me,
mm,
so it's like, yeah, it's your home. I'm gonna respect your space, but also you have to respect my space. And if something's making me uncomfortable, yo,
Exactly.
please fix it, or I'll excuse myself, like you said, because that's not like that's weird. That's just weird. It isn't especially to do in front of some like not only that, how are you speaking? Like you're feeding someone else your
yeah,
food and you're trying to have a
the
conversation.
the logistics of how this actually works is hard to say, which is part of the reason why I'm like I said, I'm cutting them a bit of slack. 'Cause just genuinely, they're not giving enough details on like exactly how the
True.
dinner's operating. I would also like to say, just to clarify, I'm not doing any of these things. I think well, oh, actually, you know what? Me and my girlfriend, we do daily questions or whatever, right? We actually had a question about like, oh, how do you feel about PDA or whatever? I was like, I'm like a solid 5, and she was like, 5? You're a 5? You want to do less than I do, and I put myself at a 2. And I was thinking about it. We were talking about. I was like, yeah, we're probably like 1 and 2, like not really trying to do all that in front of people. So I would never do this. I'd be absolutely mortified if my girlfriend was like, let's feed each other in front of like, whoa, stranger, eat your plate alone. This is a joke. This is a joke. Please do not.
I
Yeah.
recorded that and I'm
Specifically,
sending that.
but that said, yeah, I would never do this ever. But I'm just kind of like, people have their own relationships. Like it would just, like I said, it really just comes down to like, what exactly does this look like? Exactly. 'Cause, like in my head, I'm like, it's not that bad,
out of
but
No, it's worse.
out of
It's worse.
curiosity.
No, I'm listening. I'm with you.
I really want to know what food it was. I'm like, was it that
yeah,
good?
I feel
Was
like
it
I
that
feel like
good?
more details would really help.
That's what I want
Well,
to
like, okay,
know.
I would flip sides if I had more details. More details would kind of put me on like take me off the fence.
Okay, but Julian, give me a food that you would be okay seeing that. That's not
Uh,
like a snack. I'm talking about dinner because they said they're having dinner. So name dinner that you'd be okay comfortable seeing that.
are you having burgers and fries?
If
Feeding
you
to
see
your
someone,
partner. Two fully functioning adults
no,
feeding each
Again,
other.
feeding a
I'm not
burger.
saying that I would do these things. I'm saying that if you're
You're
a
watching.
person
You're
who's really in love, who's just like, yeah, I just have to feed my partner their grapes by hand right in front of you.
no,
You
that's
know,
grapes. You said a burger. Imagine
just
seeing two
get one of these.
people.
Get one of these. You get the little fry, be like, here goes the airplane. You know,
Oh,
come on, guys.
ew.
I don't know. I feel like it's very normal.
All right, so Kendi, there are now 2 open spots available on the podcast. So, because that's wild. What?
Nah,
That's
no.
crazy. That's crazy.
Uh, I
Not
mean,
choo-choo
Here
train kind of
comes
people,
the
not
train.
airplanes.
the
That's
only thing I could see
crazy.
is probably like a finger food. I could see that, but like maybe not like consistently. Maybe do it like one time is a little uncomfortable.
Yeah.
One time and then like, off there. In general, though, probably I would say not to do that, but definitely don't say here comes the airplane.
No, I feel like that makes it less awkward. May honestly, you know what? I feel like the issue was that she wasn't included. They should have been like, "Hey, you want some?"
Ew, Julian.
You're disgusting.
So we're just not gonna agree. So is it still 2-2 or is it
Yeah, I think we just agree to disagree. Yeah.
okay? Okay.
Oh my
This is
days,
why I'm on the
that's
Uh,
podcast.
hilarious.
You're welcome,
so
guys.
neutral.
Great clip.
I'm just here for the food. Was it that good that you had to feed your partner? Was it that good?
They said they
Hey,
do it regardless.
yeah, they said they do regardless.
Yeah,
So,
I can't
but
imagine doing that every day.
sure,
Like that's gotta be. Yeah, I
messy.
don't know. Like everything they're doing. Like I said, I personally would never do any of these things. Like brush your teeth. Like brushing teeth together. Like okay, showering together all the time. I don't know. That's like just it just feels like a lot of contact all the
I don't
time.
know. I'm max independent, so yeah, nah, that's not me.
Yeah, like all this stuff. I'm like, I personally would not do any of these things. I feel like, well, okay, I wouldn't do it at the level they do it. Do like maybe once in a blue moon, but like every day, all day, like that's a lot. I can't eat the food on my own. Like, what if I want to eat something different than you? Like, what are we actually doing?
You don't have a choice.
Nah,
Oh,
yeah,
is it
you
no?
just gotta eat it.
It's,
I mean, he did say that though. He said like anything she's not comfortable with him doing, he complies. Everything like he's not comfortable with her doing, like she just listens. So
Yeah.
if she wants to
it's a
eat
healthy relationship.
pizza
It's a weird
and he
relationship.
doesn't, he gotta suck it up and eat pizza.
Mm. Mm.
It's a toxic one. It's
Um.
a codependent one. But yeah, next one
This
or
is
final one, I
this
should
one.
say.
Um. Am I the asshole for laughing at my dad getting me a porn magazine?
Ooh.
Turned 18 yesterday. Like an hour after I opened presents, my dad opened it. It was some fucking 90s or something. Laughed at him because I knew exactly why he got it. Why he got at me. Came out to my parents as gay a couple. My dad has been trying. How great woman. Usually just him though. Definitely, definitely 100% gay. I didn't think he'd go this far to convert me. As fuck. Got, got upset at me for laughing at him. I should be more appreciative that this gift is. I just kept laughing at him. Fucking funny in it. um, bro thought a gay bro thought a gay guy would want a 30-year-old straight up porn magazine. Asked him where he even got it because he's so old. And he said he just got it from the corner shop. This is such a lie though. Why would the corner shop sell old ass porn mags? I go in there all the time. I've never in my life seen this shit before. Yelled at me and called me ungrateful. And I think this guy's British. He's like mom.
Oh, okay.
Called me ungrateful. My mom with him. I still think it's a dumb present. I think it's funny. Why is my own dad trying to convert me? Please, maybe I should have just. Maybe should have. Maybe I should have like acted grateful though. I don't know. Like, who thinks it's a good idea to give their son like hello? And if I wasn't gay, be a dumb president. Why do I need a magazine? I got the internet. I got the internet for all that, pal. Does he actually think we're in the 70s? I was a bit of a twat though. Oh, maybe personal.
I like how you said twat.
Okay. This is definitely a 70s dad
Wait,
with
wait,
a
wait. Yeah.
Gen what would it be? Gen Z son. This is
You're a bust.
honestly
I,
great sense of humor on this guy, first off.
yeah.
Because
Wait.
honestly, the reason why he was given that mag was hella problematic. But he hilarious. This guy's a great storyteller.
No, I
Because
used to
that
be.
was too funny.
That is still really upset.
Okay. So there's two I have
Okay.
two answers. But Kendi, you wanna go for Kendi, you wanna go first?
So since they're British, I actually have British roots. So I'm
Oh.
just gonna tap into those really quickly. Um, I just want to say, like, this person is 100% not the asshole.
I
Like, your
can't.
dad is a twat. He's a complete wanker. You need to do something about your dad. So that's how I feel.
First off, great
Terrible
acting
father.
actually. That was really good.
Thank
Second
you.
off, spit.
Thank you.
But on my part, I have two different answers. There's a joke answer and a serious answer. Serious answer is no. He deserved to be laughed at because that was weird. He definitely thought this was still the 1990s. He was like, "Oh yeah, here's a porno back, sir." Like literally, like ignoring all the other reasons why you did that. Yep, porn on the internet. Huge collection, actually. You know, check it out sometime if you're
Huge
really interested in that kind of
collection.
stuff.
Got it.
Because a magazine, really? Like the audacity. But then joke answer is, bruh, this is so funny. This is actually hilarious. Like I would probably actually double over laughing. Like I would not be able to take him serious ever again. Like and then he lied. He said it got it from the corner store. The corner store. The corner store. Brother
No.
brought that straight from right out his box of old porno mags from under his bed. I know for a fact he had this one. He was like, "This is one of my favorite ones. I know he's gonna love this one."
He
Nasty
had to blow
nigga.
off the dust.
Nasty nigga.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Bro. No, exactly. That's where I would start laughing. Like the fact that like if that was me, like you said, a straight guy would have want that. If I got a porn magazine as a gift, I would be like, "What is this? Like, why?
You
Why?"
must be
And
goofing
then
on me.
exactly. But then if he would lie and be like, "What? I got it from the Cornish." Now, why would you lie? Why would you tell a bold faced lie like that? Because I know this is only yours. It says 1978.
Literally,
Crazy,
because now you're
crazy
playing in
work.
my face. You're messing with my intelligence at this point.
No
No.
facts. You think I'm stupid? Did I sell an old magazine in a corner store? What?
That is-
But I also like how the story went from like, oh yeah, like, am I the asshole? To him just ranting, him just being like,
Yeah,
bro,
bro.
does my dad really think I'm that stupid? That's
nah, it's just
hilarious.
As
A great one to end off on.
we sometimes laugh at. I feel like if I was in this scenario, I would laugh at him. Too, 'cause, like, what the? And that's the last thing I would
that because
expect.
actually just so crazy.
You're not the asshole. Like you're the hero of this.
No,
Honestly.
honestly, like a lot of that, like Julian said, the reason why your dad got it to you is problematic, but he's old, so
Apparently. Bro's like 60 or
gotta be
something.
60
Like
to for a
your
magazine.
dad has been around the block a couple of times and did not learn anything around any of those blocks at all.
And don't be
Oh,
shocked if it goes missing, because he took it back.
No facts. Oh, facts.
He's like, it's just on the dresser. And he snatches it back. He's like,
You
honestly,
know
he
what?
didn't deserve this one.
I knew it was too
Actually, you know
good
what?
for him.
I'm gonna go use it right now. Terrible work. Terrible, terrible, terrible.
Not that. I wonder if the mom was there. Because what's the mom thinking? If she's like, so you still have that?
Mhm.
Hmm.
mm, I don't know. This is his dad. This,
His mom.
but he did
True.
say he came out to
Mom
Jamaica.
might not be there, but
Just so
that'd be crazy.
strange.
It's crazy. But that was a good one to end off on.
It was. It was a great one.
Anyway, anyone have any final thoughts, comments?
No, but this was really fun. Thank y'all for having
Hey,
me.
Thank you for coming. We really
thank you for
appreciate your
coming.
time. It was a great time.
Hon- Honestly, you're also a great journalist. You literally got us to talk for the first half, like just by your questions. So good job.
Thank you.
Anyway, I've been Miles. I've been your
Julian.
host of Miles, Julian, Chris, and that's the Campfire Podcast. We back, baby, in full effect. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. You'll be seeing us
And we'll,
again in the near future.
yeah,
Probably.
in it, fam.
Uh,
Anyway, yeah, we'll see y'all later.
Hmm?
All right,
Bye.
bye.
Bye.